So what we said at half-time is we needed to see Tommy Rogic and Aaron Moy on the ball more. Start of the second half, exactly what happened. Rogic makes a great run, travels a decent amount of ground with it, gets a foul in a very good area for us. And this is where we touch on, I think you make your own luck.
Yeah.
And we get a little bit there, we get a lot actually from Mile Jedinak. Does he as well sort of like play the captain's role there to say to Aaron Moy, you're not taking this penalty, son, I'm taking it. Sorry, free kick. Gets a good opportunity, gets the right deflection. Fantastic start for us in that second half.
And it's like you said, it was the way the boys were driving forward. They were trying to make things happen again. And this, again, I mean, possibly the best player and best head of the ball in world football for me. It's ridiculous. Timmy had no right to head that and get it on target, and yet he did. And that was really the only occasion that we saw an aerial ball go in when Tim was on the park. And I really felt like we didn't maximise having Tim out there early on. But it doesn't matter, like you say, the result was in the end very, very good. And the second half performance was brilliant, the way the boys rattled together.
Well, they just, like I said, they just stayed in the game. Once they got that goal, you know, Hondorus, they tried to show, but again, the way that we've travelled back, you know, Ange was touching on the freshness that we would have. That showed, it was evident in that second half. The game stretched, we started to get a lot more space, a lot more time, and we started to cause a lot more issues. We're going to get a little bit luckier again in terms of the penalty.
What I love here, Craig, is the referee's positioning. I think if he'd have been on the other side where Milligan is on the edge of the box, that penalty's not given. He actually let it go on for 3 or 4 seconds to see. Watch the referee's position here. It's absolutely magnificent. He can clearly see it. Now watch how long. 1, 2, 3, 4. He doesn't give it thing, and Rogic is going to strike the ball, and then he brings it back to the penalty. Correct decision. And I just love the focus. If there's a captain that steps up, he was so focused, he only had one thing on his mind, and it was absolutely brilliant the way he tucked it away in the far corner, even with the goalkeeper guessing the right way.
And he's shown on many occasions now how focused he is, and whether it be free kicks, whether it be penalties. Again, Mile Jedinak has scored a lot of very important goals for his country. This one was very important because at 2-0, it really does, for me, put the game beyond doubt.
And then Robbie Cruz threw. It was a long ball, and this is why the game was stretched. Honduras had to get back in the game. Long ball over the top, which we were worried about Honduras doing to us. Robbie, and then again,
fear the beard.
Oh, fear the beard, absolutely brilliant. And you know, he's got the cheek to go the opposite way. Pick the match ball up. Was the free kick given to him because of the deflection? I hope so, because to get a hat-trick in the World Cup, you tried taking that ball away from Mile Jedinak, please.
Tried taking it away from you, and you'd be ticking it, wouldn't you?
Oh, you know, as a striker, you want them goals.
And I guess, look, the only little downer is we do concede a late consolation goal, but the result was exactly what we were after. Mile Jedinak, you know, let's touch on Mile Jedinak. He's had 5 months out with the national team. He's been injured. He's come back in at the right time. His journey from Sydney United to the Mariners to Europe has been an unbelievable journey, and he's now leading the national team again at the World Cup.
He's really the general, isn't he, of this team? I mean, he oozes leadership, and the quality on the pitch speaks for itself too.
Oh, I think we've seen it massively in these last 2 games. The away game against Honduras, where we needed that presence and experience. He gave us that.
The experience, we were saying, how long will he last? And when you're watching the game, he was so disciplined. He didn't make any forward runs. He just stayed and screened that back 3 defenders. Absolutely magnificent. That's a true leader. And for me, him and Timmy, you know, they've got to go. They've got to go to Russia. Timmy.
Talk about that on the other side of this short break on Nine's.